Chris, when you went on and talked about hitting Sebastian with a belt and kind of, just chuckling about it and how the social services or child protective services came to your door and apologized to you, that got people upset. It got people.
But right, let's clear that real quick.
Okay.
That needs to be cleared up, because what was said and what people heard are two totally different things.
I heard you say you hit him with a belt.
Okay, so let me finish, because that's the problem. When I go to make the statement, people want to interrupt and try to say, well, this and that. No. You wanted the answer. I'm giving you the answer. Now, when I answered that question, I told people Sebastian got a spanking. He got one lick on his butt outside of his clothes. If somebody can tell me how that's abuse to a child, explain to me.
Can you confirm when that happened?
That was years ago.
I got spanked by a belt and wooden spoon by my mom for years.
So, but let's not sidetrack. Let's stay on board. Okay. So the question about the CPS thing that came up to play that everybody wants to tie to this belt is not what it was.
Okay.
Well, I think it was confusing because when you initially talked about it, you referred to him as an embarrassed 15-year-old. So
yes, you did.
Like it was years ago.
We thought it was like right recently.
Well, instead of asking more clarification,
let's clear it up.
So, as it stands, Sebastian went to school one day. He made a statement to a teacher. The teacher reports it to CPS. CPS comes to the house. That case has nothing to do with Sebastian getting spanked. That had everything to do with Sebastian didn't like being in trouble. So he thought by reporting it to a teacher, they were going to come to the house and they're going to take me out of the house and do this and do that. That is what the CPS case was about. And yes, I laughed at it because when I explained to Sebastian, very detailed, what happens, he thought it was a joke. When the CPS lady shows up and looks at him and says, Sebastian, you can't false report. That will get people in trouble and you can get in trouble. And then she explained to him what happens.
What did he say you did to him?
Can I ask you, what does that have to do with the price of eggs in China when it comes to the disappearance of Sebastian?
Because I'll tell you why. Because you're wondering why people are coming at you. And it's because he was in your home last. That was the last place he was seen.
Yes, he was.
When we hear these things, it's like, okay, let's just clear it up and see what happens. Because I'll tell you why. Because people, I'm not saying me, but I've seen people say, hey, he was hitting his child. He reported it to his teacher. Did something happen? Was there an explosive incident that happened?
No, absolutely nothing of that nature.
Okay.
And for people to not understand, when you discipline a child, there's a difference in discipline and abuse. There truly is a difference.
But I think hitting anybody with a belt is abuse. I'm sorry, I do. And a lot of people agree with me, and that's the problem.
And
so
guess what? That's the great thing. That's the great thing about having your opinion.
Yes.
That's an opinion. That's not a fact. That's opinion.
Okay. I think a belt is abuse, but that's my, again,
well, if I was leaving bruises and marks on a child, that's abuse. That would be considered abuse.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
so by definition,
that's weird.
That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You can say your opinion, and that is fine, but you have to back it up and say, what I'm stating is just an opinion. There's no fact to it. When you don't say that, you leave it open to interpretation for a lot of people to take it and run with it. That was a lot of the problems with this.
And there will be people, I can get people from CPS that will say hitting a child with a belt is an abuse. But here's the thing. You're right. That doesn't have anything to do necessarily with Sebastian and his disappearance. But what it does is it creates a narrative in people's minds that we need to clear up and change, Chris. We need to clear it up and change it. Okay? So let's do that.
So we
and
just did.
okay. If now you did go on Nancy Grace and say that CPS has never been called, and a
No,
lot.
that's not. No. Nope.
Okay, that's what I heard. What did you say on that?
She asked the question about a situation, and she asked me if I had ever had CPS called on me. I believe is what the question was. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't exactly know what the question was without hearing it again. So I'm
Okay.
not going to answer you with
I can
something
pull up
without having it in front of you.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Very fair. And so let's move on. Okay, so nothing came of that from you hitting him with a belt. Has there ever been any, and people are going to ask, has there ever been any violence in your home as far as Sebastian is concerned?
No.
Okay,